sort of not only the deal that went through, but the valuations that now has maybe lifted or presented a floor for some of the other studios out there?
Yeah, absolutely, Taylor. I think that's a great question and a very, very important point. So yes, I think obviously with the deal being cleared, I think we know that the streaming wars are right now in full force. Amazon bought, this was a landmark deal. Amazon got the MGM studio, which is an iconic studio, for about $8.5 billion. They paid about a 19 times multiple by our calculations, and I think what it really does then is kind of set a kind of a benchmark for the remaining studios. Now, not a lot of independent studios are really remaining in Hollywood or are up for grabs. Most of the major studios are part of the large vertically integrated companies, whether it's a Disney or a Warner or a Comcast, NBC. But there are a few, and some of the names that come to mind are Lionsgate or maybe even a Sony, and it definitely now helps kind of establish a benchmark valuation for some of those companies.
What companies, Geetha, are going to be looking to fill gaps in their lineup? Or, in other words, who are the potential acquirers out there beyond the Amazons of the world?
Yeah, so that's a really interesting question, and we always wondered about whether it would be media, and a media company just trying to get bigger. We saw that already happening with Discovery when they kind of went after Warner. But really, as the streaming wars kind of heat up, what we're seeing is some of the smaller subscale players. They might not be able to go it alone, and they might need to consolidate. They might need to be part of that whole consolidation theme that's been going on in media now for many years. And so the most obvious names that come to mind, because these acquisitions are not going to be cheap. They're obviously going to cost a lot of money, whether it's a studio, whether it's a bigger media company. And so really then the companies that have that financial prowess, that have those deep pockets, are probably going to be the tech players. So we think of an Apple as a possible acquirer, or maybe even a Google. Obviously we saw Amazon kind of really charging hard in the media space, not just with the MGM deal, but they're going really hard after some sports rights as well. And the NFL Thursday night package comes to mind.
Geetha, always on top of all things media entertainment. We thank you so much, Geetha Ranganathan, of course, of Bloomberg Intelligence. Another great focus in on some of their best work. Meanwhile, coming up, Pharrell Williams. He launches Black Ambition. He did so in 2020. They gave out prizes in 2021, and they're back to make it bigger and broader. A non-profit initiative there that is really helping minority entrepreneurs. We dig into it. This is Bloomberg.